after game 2. Did you, I mean, for the team, do you see that? Do you want your guys, do you feel like they could be benefited by playing more free or anything like that? Did you see it that way?
I mean, we play free. I think, we pass more than any team in the NBA. We're third in pace. We run, we pass. We play free. I think the notion of Ben feeling the Celtics defense is true. But, I give them credit a lot. I think the spirit in which we play, you're talking about offense, it is what it is. That's who we are. That's how we've played, and I hope that we continue to play it. And I especially hope that we are able to play it in a half-court game with more movement than I feel like we have done so far.
Ben talked a lot about he just kind of mentally took himself out of that game. How much of that is on you guys needing to develop more counters to what Boston is doing, and how much of it is getting in his ear and saying, look, I got to push him forward. We need more and more and more.
I think it's almost the opposite. I feel that, the example of somebody having some level of playoff experience and figure themselves out is true. As I told my guys 2 weeks ago, you're going to learn more about yourself in skill, package, and spirit in the next few weeks than maybe you've learned your whole career. That's what the playoffs do to you. And it's a good thing. It dictates your summer. You're reminded what happened last about, this is how teams guard me as an example. And I feel like the Celtics, I give them credit with the defense, as I've said many times. I think the fact that you're in the Boston Garden and, you're having to deal with that side of it, you get hit in the mouth in the second period. It's the playoffs. Some of it you just have to experience. And some of it is me helping put him in some different situations. But I feel like the greater notion that you should be hearing, or I hope you're hearing, is sometimes, it's the ready, fire, aim stuff. Like, you just got to put your head down and figure some stuff out. And I feel like schematically there are some tiny few things that we will do to help him. But I feel like internally, as he starts feeling more comfortable about this environment and, what specifically we want offensively as an example, that also will help him.
Probably not the time to do it. I remember you talked earlier this year that you see Simmons at some point as a 1, and maybe also as a 4. Could something like that get him going? It's too.
And like you guys ran with that, and fair enough a little bit. My point was maybe taken a little bit too literally. Maybe I didn't do a great job of explaining. He's a basketball player. We see his greatest skill and the way he can impact the game now is give him the ball. That doesn't really change in my mind. That's kind of who he is. And I feel like, having said that, if your question is now, can we, give TJ the ball and make Ben the 4, I don't think so. I think that you're reaching a little bit. I think you're reaching a lot of it. And I don't see that happening tonight.
What about the post touches and the duck-ins that you tend to get to him in the half-court offense at times? Did you see enough of that in the first 2 games, or does there need to be more of that, or are they taking that away?
No, I hope to get more of that, but I think what we've all seen, and the math backs it up, to think like you're just going to go down and I'll use an example of floppy, just a simple turnout. Bring JJ off a down screen, post Ben, there he is. That's not getting it done. To do something creatively and out of movement where he can find open space and find the rim out of our side-to-side motion a little bit, I think what Brian was asking at the start, what I hope to see a little bit different about playing free, I feel like in those environments you can have a better chance of exploiting his 6'10" frame. They've done a good job with Tatum on him and Morris on him. It's not like they put Rozier on him. At times they switch out and he finds somebody like Rozier on him. Those times especially come to my mind.
When you say that your players are going to learn a lot about themselves in the playoffs, with TJ specifically, What do you think he should be taking away from the playoffs himself?
That he's a good player and can play in the NBA for the next 15 years. Really, I'm thrilled for him personally. Like, he gets to show everybody what we kind of guessed and grew and nurtured and think. And so on, a pretty big stage, he shows how he can change a game. Like he had played the last, 3 minutes, I think, of the third period and played the first 7 of the fourth. And, did a good job. And so there I am, like, do you go with Ben Simmons, who you've seen for 88 games, or do you play TJ 13 minutes in a row? And I did what I did, and I do it again. But in that environment, like, he shined. He changed the game for us and got us back on track. And I think and I hope the league sees and the fans see what I see and have seen.
Coach, you shorten your rotation consciously. Is that something that's just evolved? Or?
Yeah, like what I do is we go into it, and we did this in the Miami series. You go into a sort of a notion, a game plan, and then you either continue on or pivot out of it in the second half. I think, you are at a stage like in our series where you think about it, but I'm not going to do it. We've lived with stuff for a while. I will tell you so I can stay true to my word. We look at stuff in a more sort of scrutinized way in the second half, and you may see a shorter rotation during that time frame.
A couple of years ago, Lloyd was a candidate for a coaching job. I know you talked, it was a good opportunity for him, but you wanted him to have like more of, a pro coaching job. It seems like word came out that he interviewed with the Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah.
Can you just talk about
it's a no-brainer. I would hire Lloyd Pierce yesterday. If a team came in and said, think about this, if a team came in and said, we want to rebuild, well, I can't think of a more appropriate program that has gone from where we were to where we are that has a true story to tell. And you look at him, he's a young coach, he's in great shape, he's tremendously sort of connected to the league, he's defensively oriented. Like, it's a no-brainer in my eyes. And I feel thrilled to be able to help him. And I don't think it's a far-reaching push. All you got to do is pay attention. And I hope soon that we can look at him as the next coach of the Atlanta Hawks. And it would be my complete pleasure and privilege to have help him grow his own career. That's my job. People have done it for me. I want to do it for others. And I think he's a natural to lead an NBA program, especially if the mission is to, grow it organically like we have done.
When you say that you do what you do in Game 2, again, regarding TJ and Ben, how much of that is coaching for the moment, and how much of it is coaching for the X number of years down the line when you know Ben is going to be your guy?
It was all about how do you win. I do think, and I said it, he has to experience that to grow, and I stand by that. But my belief was, TJ had just played 13 consecutive minutes. I've seen Ben for 88 games. He's pretty good. He's the rookie of the year, in my opinion. And so to, make it anything deeper or bigger, I'm going to go with Ben Simmons. And I did, and I would do it again. And, the decision was born out of I want to win first, and then, the side notion of, for sure, it's a great growth opportunity for him.
In your years with the Spurs, probably up 2-0 more often than down 2-0, the Game 3 mentality, how's it from both ends?
Well, it's easier for me to speak about it from this end that I'm now at, because, we live it in real time. And I go all over the place in regards to what matters most, and sort of get grounded into this fact. We are 25-2 in this building since Christmas. We have the league's best starting five. It was part of my belief, during that second period, can they get through that scoring impact that the Celtics had. I'm hoping that they could have sustained it, and we weren't able to in that situation. We believe coming back home, we believe with our starting five, we believe with the season that we've had, we believe that if we can play more basketball and more basketball and more basketball with Joel Embiid, trying to make up a little ground for taking 6 days off, that we're going to get better. And so I feel strongly that as I've said to everybody, we have more to do. We got to buy a little bit of time. We got to find a win, obviously, tonight to keep our spirits and our mission alive. We get the Celtics, 36-0 when they take a 2-game lead. Is that the math? We love that. Like, we've been around records, maybe not on the positive side for the last few years, but we've been around some records. And I see this as just a competitive, another layer to, helping our guys find their mojo and come out and play 76 of basketball in a few hours.
Brent, in terms of the Celtics have done to defend Ben, how much of it or how little of it is born out of they just knowing that in certain spots on the floor he is not going to shoot? And have they been more effective in any regard than maybe some of the other teams you've played this season and haven't been able to stop him, even though they know that?
Yeah, no, I hear you, Mike. And I think let's just start with he really hasn't shot in many parts of the floor this year. It's not like, oh, let's take away the elbow or the wing. That's not who he is right now. Yet he's still found a way to impact the game. If you take, and I'm going to be redundant until this Celtics thing is over. If you take just the fact that they have individual elite defensive players, then you put them into a pretty good team environment. And then, like in early offense, the first 4 to 6 seconds of the shot clock, there's Aaron Baines or, Horford at the foul line area. And Ben it's LeBron. That's what we live with LeBron, his first 7 years in the league. You have to show him a crowd. He's got to see 5 sets of somebody's jersey. And that's what the Celtics are doing well. And it's not new. They just do it well, and they have excellent individual defensive players that's put into a solid team environment. Thank you.